Kings in this early afternoon. News over is coming out their way. 3-on-2. Now another opportunity to score! Number 7! Another breakaway, number 24, and this time he scored. Assisted by the goalie. For you, between the Calgary and Edmonton. Drew Allers. Right in front of the net, and they score! Calgary Rockies up on the board. Looks like that's number 15, Drew Sherman. Will get.
Alright, welcome aboard everyone. Got myself new setup, new microphone, new background, and new everything. Welcome aboard. Thanks for watching Talk with Anand, the relaunch. It's episode number 1. We have lots to chat about this evening. We'll start with the Calgary Canucks, the Alberta Junior Hockey League team. I know quite a few viewers are watching from that. Welcome aboard. KQ is joining us. Anand says hi. Dumpet says, hey Anand, looking good. Welcome aboard. Thanks for being a part of our stream this evening. We'll talk to one specific player. We'll talk to Nolan DuPont later in the show. I recorded an interview with him about an hour ago. And we'll talk to Nolan DuPont. You can hear his interview playback. We'll talk about the Calgary Wranglers. We'll do a recap. We'll do the NHL Playoffs look ahead. And we'll do an open topic as well where I answer your questions, your thoughts, and everything. And thanks for being a part of us. Before I start, of course, feel free to like, share, subscribe, share it with your friends. This is just episode 1 of Hockey Talk with Anand. We are getting started here shortly. Hope everybody can hear me. Hope the microphone is good. Hope the quality is good. And we are getting right underway. You can see the YouTube chat as well. So I'll answer throughout the questions. But let's start with the Calgary Canucks recap. Who has heard of Calgary Canucks? I do color commentary with them. So I regularly work with them on an often basis. And that's one team you should be proud of. If you're a fan of Junior Hockey League in Alberta, if you are a fan of growing NHL stars, this is one of the league that you should watch, as they have a huge national stage coming up as well. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the success they had during the regular season. And then once, like I said, I have a player interview as well that I'll play for you with Nolan DuPont, who is a Calgary Canucks forward, number 29. Great season for him. We'll talk about his regular season stats as well. All that more here on Hockey Talk with Anand. First of all, I ask you once again to please kindly like, share, and subscribe before we begin, so you don't miss any of our episodes. Hit the like button, bell icon as well, so you get notified whenever we go live. My new plan for this show is to start it every Monday to Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. This week looks very likely. My schedule is really free, so you might see more guests on the show. If you want to be a guest as well, reach out to me. I'm available on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Spotify, everywhere, at CJY_Anand. If you want to be a guest, we can do like a recorded interview, we can do a live interview as well. All those options available to you, so reach out. Don't be shy, especially if you love coming on a platform. But hello to KQ, hello to Dump and Cheese Podcast, and hello to Berlin as well. Welcome aboard. We are getting started with your Calgary Canucks. That's your first segment of the show. So the Calgary Canucks had a successful Inter-Pipeline Cup playoffs. They took down all their 3 teams in the series and was fantastic. They defeated the Camrose Kodiaks in a series 4-1. That was in late March, towards the last weekend of March. They defeated the Canucks Kodiaks 4-1. Then they took on the Drumheller Dragons, which was surprising. They swept that series 4-0. So 2 at home, 2 in Drumheller, swept all 4, and that was in April. And then Grand Prairie Storm as well, 4-0 as well, that series in April as well. So all three teams, the Calgary Canucks, were successful, and they were amazing in the series they played. They took down the opposite teams. Brad Moran, the head coach, kudos to him. Kudos to several players as well. Bowden Singleton, the captain, who missed part of the season. He has been excellent. Jack Plandowski, who ended up with 79 points in the regular season, and then Nolan DuPont not far behind, 56 points. The top 3 scorers in the AJHL Calgary Canucks. They almost have a branded jersey like the Calgary Flames. So if you like watching the Calgary Flames, head down to the Maxwell Arena. The Centennial Cup Championship is coming up in May. I talked to Nolan DuPont here again few moments ago. I'll play that interview here shortly. But Nolan DuPont said the team is excited. He's excited for the Centennial Cup, and Nolan DuPont, that will be his biggest stage when it comes. So we'll have a chat with Nolan DuPont in just a moment. And if you're, of course, planning to pack the bell, that's pack the Maxwell, the temporary schedule looks like May 8th, May 10th, May 13th, and May 11th and 13th for a Calgary Canucks. They'll take on a team from the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League. I believe that's going to be Melford Mustangs. I believe they qualified yesterday. They will take on one team from the League Day Hockey League, Junior AAA from Quebec, and Central Canada Hockey League on May 11th. And then they will take on a team from Maritime Hockey League. So still more schedules to be figured out when it comes to the Centennial Cup Championship. But that's coming up May 18th to the 18th. I know I'm volunteering there. I'll be there. So if you want to come out and cheer for the Calgary Canucks, or maybe if you have another favorite team, no hate at all, you can do so. But that's a look at your Calgary Canucks. They had a successful Inter Pipeline Cup playoffs. They were the regular season champions as well. They clinched home ice for all the playoff rounds. And such an impressive team. It's so fun to watch them. If you haven't heard their goal horns, that's one factor I would say. The Maxwell has great concession food as well. So why not go down to the Maxwell, go cheer on the Canucks. And they take on... Their first game in the Centennial Cup will be the very first day, May 8th, with the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League. Alright, so what we'll do now, I'll play the interview with Nolan DuPont, sit back and enjoy, and then we'll take a quick break and come back, and we'll talk about the Calgary Wranglers. So stay tuned. The show is just getting started. We are going all the way until 6 o'clock, bringing your questions and thoughts into the program as well in between. But for now, sit back and enjoy Nolan DuPont's interview. Alright, good afternoon and welcome to episode 1, the relaunch of Hockey Talk with Anand. My name is Anand, and joined along, a privilege is Nolan DuPont, Calgary Canucks forward, number 29. Nolan, welcome. How are you doing this evening?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on. How are you?
I'm doing good, Nolan. Thanks for doing this. It's a pleasure to have you. We'll start right away. I don't want to take much up of your evening, but you had a great season with the Canucks. You won the regular season champions and now the Inter Pipeline Cup playoffs. Tell me about how your rookie season went and what do you feel you accomplished and how your season was overall.
Yeah, I think it was a great season. Really good team. Felt like I had a great year myself, and it was great to see all of my teammates also have great years and take the regular season championship and also the Inter Pipeline Cup a few days ago in Grand Prairie. So that felt great.
Yeah, you swept the Grand Prairie Storm 4-0 the series. That was an amazing performance, and the regular season championship. So coming up next is the Centennial Cup, of course. The big stage, national teams are coming to town. For example, the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League, the Quebec Junior Hockey League, and the Central Canadian Hockey League as well. What is your energy or vibes coming into the Centennial Cup Championship? How excited are you to transfer from the Inter-Pipeline Cup Championship and to play on a bigger stage?
Yeah, I think we're feeling really good as a team. It was nice to win the AJHL championship, but obviously our goal is to win the Centennial Cup. A bunch of guys last year, they won the championship last year, but then they didn't win the Centennial Cup. So they're just trying to teach us how to, get prepared for that, and yeah.
Is Centennial Cup one of the biggest stages you have played, or have you played at a bigger stage before?
No, it's definitely the biggest for me.
Alright, good. What kind of would you predict your next path of hockey? I know it's just your first season with the Canucks. Do you plan to stay with the Canucks? Where do you kind of want to take your hockey level to your next goal or focus, I guess?
Yeah, I'm not really sure right now, 100%. I think I could play with the Canucks another year. But yeah, I'm not really thinking about that right now. I'm just thinking about the Centennial Cup. But yeah, I could definitely play with the Canucks again.
Alright, a few more questions for you. Your favorite hockey player that has maybe like motivated you, a role model that you always look forward to when you were young and wanted to always be an inspiration to?
Yeah, I think my dad actually. He played hockey up until like 7 years ago. But he was a defenseman, so it's kind of different. But I always looked up to him just the way that he like worked towards his goals and everything like that. And as a kid, it made me want to work towards like playing hockey at a high level and yeah, just following in his footsteps.
Wonderful. And if you don't mind me asking, do you know which teams your dad played for, and what kind of hockey success did he have?
Yeah, he played in the WHL with Canucks, and then he got drafted by the Calgary Flames, and then played there for a little bit in the AHL and a few games in the NHL. So that was pretty cool. But I wasn't really born yet back then, so I couldn't see that. And then he went to Germany and Switzerland, played for the Cologne Flyers in Switzerland for a few years, and then the Ice Bear in Berlin in Germany. So it was cool to live in Germany and Switzerland when I was a young boy. So yeah, that was a cool experience.
Alright, and final question from my end for you, and then we have a fan question as well to ask you. One day in the future, if you get a choice to play with like an NHL team of your choosing, which one would you choose and why? Do you have like a favorite NHL team that you lean towards watching or even getting inspired from?
Definitely Calgary. Just being from Calgary and watching them like a few games every year, it'd be so cool to play for them. Have my family and friends in the stands and everything. Yeah, that'd be, I don't know, they're one of my favorite teams every year. I'd say Tampa Bay is my favorite NHL team, but I think it would be so cool to play for Calgary.
Cool, fantastic. And final fan-based question for you. This is from Dane Nobrega, our play-by-play guy of the Calgary Canucks. He's asking you, would you rather run a marathon in flip-flops or on dress shoes? Your answer to Dane Nobrega. I'll repeat the question again. Would you rather run a marathon in flip-flops or on dress shoes?
Definitely flip-flops. I feel like dress shoes would be way too hard. My feet would hurt way too much at a whole marathon. So definitely flip-flops.
Alright, fantastic. Any final thoughts or comments, Nolan DuPont, before I let you go? Thank you so much once again for this interview. And anything about the Centennial Cup you want to share to everyone, or anything you want to share?
No, just we're really excited as a team, so hopefully you can win that for sure. Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Alright, that is Nolan DuPont from the Calgary Canucks. Thanks for joining us, Nolan.
Yeah, thank you.
Alright, and that was Nolan DuPont, your Calgary Canucks forward number 29. What we'll do now, we'll take a quick break, and come back and we'll talk about Calgary Wranglers NHL Playoffs and your open topic where I talk about your chat. So don't go anywhere. We are just starting. It's Hockey Talk with Anand, Episode 1, a relaunch. Alright, welcome back. It's 5:20 p.m. on the dot. We are getting set to bring you Calgary Wranglers recap of the season. It was not a pretty season for the Calgary Wranglers. At least the first half was amazing. The second half, not so much. They struggled a bit after the All-Star break. And somehow, luckily, they clinched a playoff spot. They were, I believe, 5th in their division. And then they clinched a playoff spot. They took on the Coachella Valley Firebirds in Coachella for a 3-game series. And unfortunately lost 2. So the first one was a 4-3 loss in triple overtime. That game, I believe, went until like 1 a.m. all the way that night. And it was 3 scorers. Dryden Hunt, assisted by Martin Ferk and Aspero. Lucas Siona, assisted by Seeley and Aspero as well. And then Rory Cairns, I believe that was within 7 seconds at the end of the third period. Rory Cairns, assisted by Martin Ferk and Dryden Hunt, was the goal scorers for that. And then game 2, Calgary Wranglers couldn't score anything. They lost by a score of 2-0. So difficult run for the Calgary Wranglers, but still a lot to hope. You still have a lot of prospects. Rory Cairns, Hunter Brustovich, Artem Grishnikov, Sam Morton, Sam Honzek. Of all those who will get their chance at the NHL Flames as well. And looking for better outcomes for maybe like a Devin Cooley or Ignacio, depending on what track Ignacio tries to go for. We'll see what that plan is going to be. I heard he might go back to Sweden, I believe, is from what I've been hearing. So we'll see who the goaltenders remain. If you want to take a predictions at goaltenders who you want with the Flames or who you want to see as goaltender tandem, many would argue with me that they want Vladar to maybe walk away in free agency, but I would like to keep Vladar. Just how amazing he has been, especially the late stages of the regular season for the Flames. And of course, we'll talk about the Flames, of course, to bring you more content starting tomorrow. I have the Calgary Hitmen, Flames and Roughnecks all on tap tomorrow. So, I hope Honzek playing for Slovakia helps him level up 100%. That was announced by Pat Steinberg earlier this afternoon. I was going to get to that in just a moment. But KQ, you read my mind. Sam Honzek playing for Slovakia will hopefully help him up. Mac Coronato was also going to go help to play for US. But unfortunately an MRI declared that he won't be able to play due to precautionary reasons. So that is aside. So soon wishes recovery to Mac Coronato, of course. Hopefully everything is alright on that front. In the regular season for the Calgary Wranglers, Rory Kerins, Martin Fark, and Dryden Hunt were the top three scorers. Um, Rory Kerins with 61 points, Martin Fark just right behind shy of 1 point, 60 points, and then Dryden Hunt with 49 points. Even though Dryden Hunt was partly with the Calgary Flames for at least the last couple of weeks and didn't get to play, it's surprising that nobody surprised Dryden Hunt. But good young group. Of course, you have to be excited for the rest of the prospects as well, who are not with the Wranglers. Zane Perek, for example, who he will be attending, I believe, the pre-season camp for the World Championship. That's happening in Sweden soon as well. I'll be excited to watch those games. We'll have updates on those games as well for you here on Talk with Anand as well. So yeah, the Wranglers season ending on a playoff note. They were eliminated in Game 2 against the Coachella Valley Firebirds. The Flames were unfortunately eliminated. Maybe you could say 21 seconds was a major difference, or if they could have taken care of a game or two, whether it be the game in Anaheim where they blew a 3-1 lead, whether it's the Edmonton Oilers that they blew a 3-1 lead as well, or 2-1 lead, I guess. I believe it was 3-2 in overtime. Or even if they could have taken care of one of the games in St. Louis, that could have made the difference. But Flames, right in the history book, the most, I guess, the team with 96 points doesn't enter playoffs. If you look at the Eastern Conference, a team like Montreal Canadiens and New Jersey Devils, all those, they got into playoffs. 91 points. KQ says, yes, the cards are in valid hands. Vladdy's hands. Hope he resigns, but at the same time deserves being a starting goalie. 100%. Depending on, we'll see if Vladar wants to back still Dustin Wolf, or does Vladar want to go elsewhere. Good topic for discussion. We'll keep an eye on the off season. That's what the off season is for, and it was indeed a fun season. Development of Zane. We saw the last game. We saw 4 different prospects: Sam Morton, Sam Honzek, Hunter Brustovich, and Zane Perek, I believe. Yeah, that sounds about right. They took their debuts in the last game. Dustin Wolf was amazing beast, but we'll save the Flames talk for later, of course. But just a bit dive in here on the Wranglers topic. I want to deep dive into the Calgary Flames season. We'll talk about a couple players you want to talk about tomorrow, so save your topics for then. Let's talk about the NHL playoffs now. Huge. It usually turns the way they are around. It's usually the home teams that have great advantage. I'll start with today's slate though. We have Tampa Bay Lightning at Florida Panthers at 5 p.m. That will be getting going underway soon, I believe. Or if not, they might have already started even. Yeah, they have started already. 10:33. 10:33 left in the first period. Still scoreless, 0-0. Colorado Avalanche at Dallas Stars, Game 5 at 7:30 p.m. So that's in a couple of hours. So you can go watch that game once I'm done this. I'll be done by closer to 6 o'clock. And that's your Monday slate. No Canadian teams in action because of the elections, of course. Back in action tomorrow will be the Los Angeles Kings and the Edmonton Oilers. I want to talk about that a bit here shortly. The Ottawa Senators and Toronto Maple Leafs. Does the Ottawa Senators have a chance? And a whole lot more to look at that front. But let's look at the Western Conference and Eastern Conference. And then we'll take another quick break and then hit the chat line for your topics and thoughts. When we go by, we are running a little early on the schedule as well because it's a light one today. But we talked about the Calgary Canucks. If you missed the interview with Nolan DuPont, always be sure to scroll back and watch it. I'll have a recap as well on my Instagram highlights as clips. We'll talk about the Wranglers Recap and we'll talk about now the NHL playoffs. If you're sticking around still, thank you so much for your support. Once again, do feel free to hit the likes, share, and subscribe. Bring all your friends. Bring for the question and answer time as well. We always love a busy chat line this evening. All right, we'll start with the Western Conference first. It's in Vegas Golden Knights against the Minnesota Wild. That series is tied 2-2. Game 4 happened, I believe, yesterday. I didn't write the schedule down, but I'm gonna quickly browse on my phone here real quick. They played on day before yesterday, so that would have been Saturday. Game 4, Vegas Golden Knights won that 4-3 in overtime. Theodore, Nicholas Roy, Thomas Hertel, and Barbashev, the OT winner. The Minnesota Wild has been surprisingly really good this series. Vegas Golden Knights probably is lucky to be tied 2-2. If the Flames were in the playoff spot, maybe we could have tackled the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm not jinxing anything, but from the way that Vegas Golden Knights has been playing and that it's tied at 2-2 surprisingly, I would say Minnesota and Flames have a little same comparable. It's only the Minnesota Wild and the St. Louis Blues going on a wrong winning streak. Especially if you'll remember St. Louis Blues going on a 12-game winning streak. Destroyed the Flames' chances. Others, they had like a wonderful 10-3-2, something like that record. It could have made a whole lot difference. But that 21 seconds or even a couple games that we couldn't take care of, it may haunt us. It was fun season nonetheless, like KQ said, but something to keep an eye for the future. St. Louis and Winnipeg. Winnipeg, I don't know if they're in a bit of trouble now. As game 4, St. Louis Blues won 5-1. Jake Neighbors, Tucker, Braden Shen, Justin Falk, and Thomas. That series started 2-2 as well. It was Winnipeg that had partly the commanding task. They were commanding, but now St. Louis Blues at home commanding as well. Series tied at 2-2. Colorado Avalanche and Dallas Stars will see game 5 tonight. But that one, Avalanche won 4-0 in game number 4. Logan O'Connor, Nathan McKinnon, Nate Dogg, Landeskog, welcome back, and Gerard. Is Dallas Stars in a bit of trouble? Maybe. We'll see, but favorites are Colorado Avalanche. Now this is the series that I want everybody to keep an eye out for. And the series might particularly get interesting. Now going back at home, Los Angeles, hopefully they hold their fort and win this one. But the series is tied 2-2 there as well. Game 4, Edmonton fought back 4-3 in overtime. Perry, Bouchard twice, and Leon Draisaitl for the OT winner. Man oh man, the Kings had a 3-1 lead. They coughed that up. Edmonton tied it 3-3 in regulation. It went into overtime. It was going all so well until the Kings took a penalty, a tripping call, which sent McDavid and the crew to power play. And that was the end of the story. The Kings earlier made a mistake in game number 3, taking a review that was particularly not clear, and they paid the mistake for that. Yesterday they paid the mistake by giving Edmonton the power play. Interesting series in that Western Conference matchup. Now let's take a look at the Eastern Conference now. New Jersey Devils and Carolina Hurricanes. The Carolina Hurricanes lead 3-1. Little surprising, you might think, especially with Markstrom in net for the New Jersey Devils. In game number 4, Hurricanes defeated the Devils by a score of 5-2. Sevnichkov with 3 goals. Apologies if I mispronounced the name. Slavin and Burns. It is a possibility, but tomorrow we'll know if New Jersey have a life or is a Carolina Hurricanes that's gonna essentially punch their first ticket into the next round. Another team has the same chance to do it, and that's the Ottawa Senators and the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Toronto Maple Leafs also leading 3-1. Senators found a bit of life in overtime on Sunday. Was watching the game at a restaurant. It was fun. Stutzla, Pinto, Perron and Sanderson for Senators in overtime. It's do or die for the Senators tomorrow. So do or die for the Devils, do or die for the Toronto. Or Ottawa, I guess. Even do or die coming up for the Montreal Canadiens and Washington Capitals. Washington took game 4. Strom, Duhaime twice, Mangiapane, former Flame, and Tom Wilson. Washington Capitals leading that series 3-1. And if you're a fan hoping for a Canadian team, you will want Montreal to win the next one. But I believe it's Washington Capitals heading back home, and we have seen the obvious tilt of home teams take and run away with these games. And last but not the least, Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning, they play tonight. They are underway already. The Florida Panthers lead 2-1. But the Tampa Bay Lightning won game 3 point Paul Ginzel, Glendening and Cirelli. So that's a look at your NHL playoff slate. Do you have any predictions? Do you have any thoughts? Share them in the chat. We'll take a quick break and come back. And it will be your open topic, your opportunity to share your thoughts, your questions, and we'll talk about the agenda for tomorrow as well. You're watching Episode 1, relaunch of Hockey Talk with Anand. Alright, welcome back to Hockey Talk with Anand. This is the final segment of the show. Those who are still hanging around, we appreciate it. I appreciate it. Be sure to share, subscribe, like, and much more while you're watching this video. We always appreciate the support. Lot more episodes and discussions to come throughout this program. It's currently 5:40. We'll hit the final topics of the day. We'll hit the chat line. We'll see what's happening in the chat line, and we'll answer any questions we have from the fan base. But looking into tomorrow, I don't have any guests, but something is in the works. We'll see if any guest approaches me. Once again, you can send me a Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube message as well. Always love guests on. That's how we make part of this show. There are a lot of suggestions as well. You can give me suggestions as well as we go through on. For tomorrow, we'll talk about the Calgary Hitmen. They had a decent season. They went farther than some thought. They added for the playoffs, but fell short at home. We'll talk about the Calgary Flames a bit more in detail. We'll maybe talk about a couple players each day. We'll start with the forward group. So if you want to talk about a couple players, bring those players, bring it to the discussion table. We'll talk about that. And last but not the least, we'll talk about the Calgary Roughnecks as well. Show some love to them. And then when it comes to the Stampeders time, when the football season starts, we'll add Stampeders too. Don't forget, we have a blog as well, Hockey Minutes with Anand.wordpress.com. Head to the website and take a look. We are on YouTube, Spotify, Twitter, all your places for social media. Be sure to share, like, and repost. Really appreciate it. But that has been your fun-filled episode number 1. We talk about the Calgary Canucks. Always love to do a recap at the end of the show. So if you know where to go back, what you want to go back. At the top of the show, we talked about the Calgary Canucks Recap. They had a successful Inter-Pipeline Cup playoffs. Their top scorers in playoffs was Borden Singleton with 24 points, the captain, and Jack Landowski with 18 points. For top scorers, Jack Landowski, Borden Singleton, and Nolan DuPont in the regular season. The Centennial Cup Championship is coming soon in May at the Maxwell Arena. Go pack the Max and enjoy some Junior League action if you're still missing hockey. The Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League, League de Junior AAA, Central Canada Hockey League, and the Maritime All Hockey League will be all down at the Maxwell during this national competition. We had an interview with Calgary forward star Nolan DuPont, younger brother Landon DuPont. Nolan said that his dad also played with the NHL, the Calgary Flames, the AHL team, and a few seasons in Switzerland. Mickey DuPont. Go check out that interview later. It will be available in clips and in this podcast as well. For Wranglers Recap, the playoffs, they got eliminated in game number 2 against the Coachella Valley Firebirds. It was just a 3-game series, which I don't like that formatting. It's too short. You don't get to see your favorite home side at home, especially if you don't win home ice. Game 1, they lost 4-3 in overtime. It went to triple overtime. Then in game 2, they couldn't score anything. Regular season top scorers Rory Cairns, Martin Farrar, and Dryden Hunt. For the NHL Playoffs, the Western Conference and Eastern Conference, Eastern Conference have games that are close to being done for round 1. New Jersey Devils and Carolina Hurricanes. Ottawa Senators and Toronto Maple Leafs. And Montreal Canadiens and Washington Capitals. The rest of the main series are tied at 2-2. We'll see the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Florida Panthers clash tonight. We'll see the Colorado Avalanche and Dallas Stars clash tonight. Guess for next episode undecided. But next episode is as early as tomorrow. I'll see who I can fill in and bring in last moment. And we'll talk about the Calgary Headmen, Calgary Flames and Roughnecks tomorrow. That will do it. Happy Monday. Thanks for being a part of the relaunch episode 1 of Hockey Talk with Anand. We begin a new journey. Bringing you live shows almost every day, Monday to Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mountain Time. That's Calgary time. Don't forget to watch. And don't forget to share, like and subscribe with all your friends and colleagues. We appreciate you for tuning in tonight. Have a great evening.